channel.
Bet.
What it do?
What's going down?
Jay Rader, Dre Day. Comic Conscious Season 2, we back.
We back, baby.
It's been a minute. How long has it been? Like a year?
It's been too fucking long, bro.
We back now. We had to make y'all wait like Netflix making us wait on that Ozark season for 4.
You know I never started that shit.
Oh, man. You got to start some Ozark, baby. That thing wild good.
I seen you say that, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. So last April or something, they came out with season 3, and then 2020, something like that. And they're not coming out with the next season until this coming spring. They made us wait almost 2 years. Yeah.
No, what's going on?
Though you gotta check it out. How about Snowfall? You watch Snowfall?
Nope.
What? Man,
I know. I'm gonna tell you what. Now look, one of the things that really happened is when I was watching Power, motherfuckers are spoiling the shit out of Power. Like, I'm watching it, they like, oh, such and such happened, such and such happened. I'm like, man, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
So now, to be honest, I don't really watch TV shows while they run it. It's very few shows that I watch while everyone else is watching it. Because Facebook knows I don't give a fuck. So I never see the spoilers for those shows. You know what I'm saying? I don't track on the algorithm. So I don't know shit about Franklin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once it's over.
Don't let me talk too much trash, because we just watched the whole show 2 weeks ago.
If one of them you just busted through it.
Yeah, just got all the way through it. Once we started, so I started it a few times and I couldn't get past the first 4 episodes. Once I got past that, I couldn't stop watching it.
Is it better than The Wire?
Nah. See, The Wire is probably my second favorite show of all time. My problem with The Wire is this. The Wire is so outdated, it's hard to enjoy it now.
I don't know, bro. I feel you, but it's still. I watched it the other day. That shit is outdated, but I was still, man.
It's way outdated.
I'm loving that shit.
It didn't really. Here's my thing: if you weren't from that era, I don't feel like you could appreciate what that show is.
Well, I am. So
I am too. And I started to watch it again. I actually started watching it again right after we finished Snowfall, and obviously I like it because I remember everything about it. It's still dope to me, but I don't know. There's something about it. I already know what's gonna happen. So, and it's kind of to me, it's almost too outdated to even get into it. So I couldn't even get into it the second time.
I could rewatch that shit again right now.
I might have to just go ahead and power through.
Yeah, man. But
anyway,
so since the last season, bro, you had a baby. No, congrats on you, bro. You had a whole ass baby since the last time we was here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And you did too.
I think we haven't been here since Christmas.
Right. Yeah, it's been longer than that. Yeah.
My baby's 7 months old now.
I don't think we've done one since last summer, probably. So I bet it's been every bit of a year. I'll have to check the log, but it's been since before Christmas, I'm pretty sure.
Well, shit, yeah, man. We done both had babies.
Congrats to you. Congrats to me. We got newborn babies now.
Daddy gang, once again.
We're not new to the dad thing though.
Nah, this shit light.
Yeah, real light.
This shit light, bro.
Been around this block before.
Yeah, you feel me?
Congratulations to you on your podcast, getting hella listens, hella spins.
Appreciate you, bro.
Talk to the people, man.
Man, it's something light, bro. You know what I'm saying? FTS podcast, you know what I'm saying? I'll be on there doing my little thing. It's a chance for me to be a little more raw and uncut about things. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do much equivocating and too much, sugarcoating on that motherfucker. And honestly, bro, as of late, you know what I'm saying? I kind of changed it up a little bit. I kind of make it a little bit more personal. You know what I'm saying? Take a lot of experience I had. Man, I've had a life, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Some niggas.
I'm on
You
my
good.
phone while you're talking, trying to share the post so people could watch it and all that.
I see you. I see you. You good, big dog. But yeah, man. That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Just taking my personal experiences. I've had a lot of crazy shit happen in my life, man. And I've been a part of, I've been jammed up in a lot of these systems that, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I be talking about and shit. It's a little bit less about what's going on with everything else, a little bit more of what happened with me, you know what I'm saying, and why.
Right.
It's lit, it's entertaining, it's funny as fuck, you know what I'm saying? I've been leaning
Yeah.
on that a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun. So
Yeah. The
appreciate
podcast,
everybody
if
who's showing love.
yeah, the podcast, if you haven't listened, is FTS podcast. He'll tell you where to find it. I don't know how it's spelled on every platform, but
Man, just type
yeah,
in fuck
podcast.
this shit podcast.
Man, the podcast is dope. I've watched not every episode, nearly as many episodes as I could, and you get, obviously, like I told Dre to me is the equivalent of like a Dave Chappelle, because it'd be funny and it'd be jokes, but it's not like fiction. Like there's no
Yeah,
fiction
no,
in the
yeah,
there's no
it's
fiction in
not
the
fake
jokes.
though.
It's all facts.
Oh,
So if you wanna catch a podcast where somebody's drawing on his own experiences, talking about good, wholesome things while giving you facts about everything that he's saying because he's lived it, and this is just straight uncut how he feels about it. But it's also the most hilarious thing you've ever heard. Check out the podcast because it's pretty good.
I definitely almost just knocked down a whole ring light on top of this whole
I
situation.
saw you.
The shit almost went left.
You did catch it.
I
In
did.
case you're new to the show, this is our first live rendition of Comic Conscious, and it almost went left within the first 7 minutes.
Hey, bro, but your boy I got the agility boosty. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the awareness shits on 99, and that's
Yeah.
ah,
He had the sliders up.
ah.
Oh, man. Comic Conscious, We Feel Good, Season 2, Episode 1, J-Rater TV, FTS Podcast. I'll be censoring my FTS podcast because I don't like to curse too much in public on the air and stuff like that.
Yeah, I understand. It's
So,
gonna be hard to find it if you censor it. If you type in FTS podcast on Spotify and stuff, like it might come
yeah,
up, it might not. But if you just put "fuck this shit" podcast, it will absolutely come up.
you'll find it.
Promise you.
Yeah. It's the
Every
only
time.
one like it. So you type
I
that in.
swear.
Yeah.
It's another FTS podcast. It's called like Father, Teacher, Son or some shit like that. I'm like, boy, you don't get your
Yeah.
ass up out of here.
I'm going to have to go ahead and just stop saying that now. I'm just going to have to
Bro.
say it.
Yeah, you can't plug that nigga shit.
No.
Little
I'm about to
3
find
episodes, bro. I had to click on it because I'm like, damn, man. Somebody, I don't want to take nobody's shit. But I'm like, bro, you only got 3 episodes. You started this shit 6 years ago, nigga. Take your shit off these search results. It's a little dusty.
You trash, FTS.
Oh, God.
FTS is trash. Father, teacher, son. What's up, Keys? It's my
It's
guy.
going down, baby.
My bad. I wasn't monitoring the comments. We rookies with the live joint, but we're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. Got a few
Man,
things on
you
the
know.
slate for you today. First thing up, it's Olympic time. There's some Olympic drama going on. The whole Simone Biles joint. Well, really, Olympic drama started a few weeks back with old girl at the preliminary, at the qualifier, or whatever, who was on the podium, didn't want to salute the flag. Everyone was up in arms about that. And a few weeks back, we had Sha'Carri Richardson, who was disqualified for popping hot on some weed. And now we got the greatest gymnast of all time, Simone Biles, deciding she wanted to withdraw, and everybody lost their mind.
Yeah.
Man, I got some things to say. What do you got to say? You go, take it away first.
I mean, honestly, so I'm gonna keep it a bill. The first shit, the girl who didn't salute and all this stuff, like I didn't even see that. Like I don't even at this point, like that's just like par for the course. Like every time they play that fucking song, someone's not gonna give a fuck, and they're gonna want to show everyone else that they don't give a fuck, and there's people gonna be mad about it, and then whatever. So I literally didn't pay no attention to that.
Let me ask you this about that, because the people were up in arms with, if she doesn't want to salute her flag and represent her country well, why did she go to the Olympics? What's your answer to that?
Because she's the best at what she does. Like if you don't want me here, then be better to me.
Right.
Like,
But
or don't invite me.
does she have to go to the Olympics? Like she didn't have to. In my opinion,
She
like I understand
earned the right to
She
go
can
to
go.
the Olympics. She
Right.
wanted to compete against the best athletes in her sport in the world. And yeah, you go and you represent your country. Like, yeah, I am from the United States. You know what I'm saying? When I go places, like, it ain't no other flag for me to hold.
Right.
But that don't mean I gotta. That don't mean that I gotta stand for the song. The song ain't the country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The song ain't the country. Like you try like not you know what I'm saying, but like the issue is that you try and like equivocate like the song or the flag or
Yeah.
any of these things to like the country as a whole, and they're just not equal things. They just like they're
Right.
not, bro.
I guess my thing about it is like this is the Olympics. In my opinion, it's a little different. Like you go there to represent the country. Like that's what the Olympics are for. In my opinion, it would have been a better stand
With
to
with your
qualify
what?
and then refuse. Like I'm not doing the Olympics because I don't like this country.
I mean, but like there's no other forum for me to compete against the best in the world. Like the Olympics is it. This happens every 4 years. Like there is a direct like okay, when you think about Olympic athletes, right? The only money that they really gonna get is off of sponsorships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really get paid to be an Olympian. So like the Olympics is a platform. You know what I'm saying? That like someone who has put in that level of work is like, I'm gonna do that. But like the thing about it is that it's like saying there are all these moments where somebody had a chance to give a fuck about me and people who look like me. And they didn't. And when they made this song, that was one of those moments. Like they wasn't thinking shit about me or nobody who looked like me. So
Right.
like when they play this song, they keep playing this song that doesn't even slap.
Right.
No one is,
Just not
no
a
one is,
slapper.
it's not a slapper, bro. Nobody is bobbing their head to the national anthem, bro. That shit is garbage. Like it's not even a good song.
Hey, Whitney
So
Houston tore it down though.
because Whitney Houston is that thing, you know what I'm
She Whitney
saying? But
Houston. Yeah.
yeah, but the song's still trash, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So a few weeks back, Sha'Carri Richardson she was under the microscope. She had all eyes on her. She pops out for marijuana. Everybody lost their mind.
Yeah. What I think?
Yeah.
Uh okay, so with her, my thing is a little it's like it's kind of it's two pronged, right? Like if this is how I put it to somebody, if I'm her dad, I'm telling her that she knew the rules and she knew what she should have done and she put in all of this work and like you can't throw it all away because of all of this other bullshit, blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. But here's the caveat: I'm not her dad. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like she has a family, she has a dad, like she has like the people around her whose job it is to like actually come. This nigga's
Keys stupid. Hey, shout out to
but
my boy Keys, man. Ugly.
oh god, but so you got all these people around you whose job it is to like police your actions, right? But it's like it's not our job to police her actions. Like the rules are the rules. She broke the rules.
Right.
That should happen. The bigger thing is that like the Olympics need to think about is like look at how much money you potentially lost because of viewership, because of the quality of your content, all this other shit, because of that.
Yeah.
Like it's unfortunate, but like the grand scheme thing of all of it is that they're just gonna change the fucking rule. Like they did what they did to her. To my knowledge, it's not like people be like, when Michael Phelps smoked weed, like he kept getting in trouble for smoking weed. Like you know, what I'm saying? Like he wasn't. We didn't find out like on some like but he said like the timing under which he was getting caught didn't interfere with him being able to compete on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like honestly, they didn't have a vested interest in not having Michael Phelps swimming. If Sha'Carri Richardson tests positive 2 months earlier, she's still running. They're not gonna
Right.
find a way to keep her off that field. Like, but it's like it's their rule. And if you're any of the other athletes, that's really how I look at it. It's like no matter what I had going on in my life, no matter where I was in my life, I still had to follow these same set of rules that they gave you so that we can be here. Like that's the thing about sports. Like it's supposed to be an even playing field. So I guess they have to suspend her because the rule is there, but it's a dumbass rule that costs them money. You know what I'm saying? But like she ain't gonna be she already getting endorsements and shit off of it. Like she gonna
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah, she'll be all right. So my thing is this. Obviously, I think first and foremost, your employer or the people that you're involved in doing business with, they have specific rules, and if you don't want to obey the rules, then don't work there. She knew that was a rule. Everybody in there knows that's a rule. She should have obeyed the rules. That's first and foremost. It is a stupid rule. We all agree with that. It's an antiquated rule. All marijuana laws, in my opinion, are antiquated laws and should all be restructured or abolished altogether anyway, but that's a different topic. When it pertains to the Olympics, because there's so many different nations involved and laws are so different, everybody's just, just clean. No drugs, no altering chemicals at all, period. We don't want you to have an advantage, whatever the case, whatever the reason for the rule is. That's the rule, and they all know that.
For sure.
However, the timing of it is something that always stuck out to me too. Like, why wait until she's created a real buzz for the Olympics to test her? Like, she shouldn't. Has she been tested? She should have been tested if she hadn't
They
already
test
by
them.
that point.
Honestly, bro, like they probably test them all the time at that level. Like she probably gets tested all the time.
I'm
You know what
sure
I'm
she
saying?
does.
Like
So
she
are we
probably has
supposed to
her
buy
little
this?
like smokers have like people who work in professions where you can't smoke every day. Like, and they have their little thing that they do, and it always works for them. Like, you could find a million examples of these motherfuckers. Like, I'm not one of. I guess I mean, like, I'm never ever using my fist, bro. Like, I'm gonna just use some fake fist. But somebody gotta watch you. Like, it's motherfuckers who know how to clean their system out. They know exactly how many days they need. Like,
Yeah,
and she probably one of the. She probably been smoking this whole time.
of
She's
course.
probably passed 100 piss tests and been smoking this whole time. And this time she just got caught slipping.
Yeah,
And it's like
but
the
even then,
thing
the
that
timing is
frustrated me.
curious, man.
I mean, even that the thing that frustrated me about it was that the narrative was kind of like the narrative was kind of like it's so unfair what's happening to her. But like I don't feel like she really came out and was like it's unfair what's happening to me. She was just kind of like I knew the rules and I shouldn't have
Yeah.
been smoking. I was smoking because all of these things went down or whatever. Like I know like the shit where like she found out her mom died like
Mm-hmm.
on some boogie cousin shit. Like how DeMarcus found out he got traded. Like on camera, they're like, oh yeah, your mama did. You know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah.
like so it's like I can sympathize with her all day long. Like I'm not I don't lose I haven't lost an ounce of respect for her, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
any of that. But it's kind of like you said to a degree, like it's the rule of where you work for, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like we all know somebody who's been fired for pissing hot. And it's like it sucks, but it's like you knew if you piss out, they fired you.
Yeah.
So it's like.
That's kind of where I'm at ultimately with it. Yeah, I think the rule is stupid, and I think I agree. Obviously, this isn't her first time smoking. Like, why would she
Nah.
pick up a blunt randomly in the middle of Olympic qualifier? Like, this ain't her first time smoking. But
She's a smoker.
but I think when it comes to this, at the end of the day, bro, the rules are rules, and like you said, like that if you work here and you get caught smoking, you're gonna lose your job, and that's what happened.
Yeah, it
So
sucks. Like I hate to even take that position because like I'm not a rules is rules ass nigga. Like that's just not me. But
yeah.
like in a situation like this, like it's just kind of like the obvious truth. I feel
Yeah,
like.
but and I think that at a certain point you have to conclude that you have the free will to just not do this. Like if you were faced with a job that you were going to be randomly drug tested, and if you popped out for marijuana and they caught you, you would lose your job immediately. You have two choices. You could either not work there. Well, you have three choices. You could either not
You
work there,
have three
continue.
choices. I was gonna say there's
Yeah,
a third choice.
yeah, you could either not work there, continue to smoke as much as you want to, and not have to worry about it. You could work there and decide not to smoke because the job is what you chose over smoking. Or the third is risk it.
Yeah,
Work
risky.
there and smoke and be okay with the consequences. Which, granted, to her credit, she was.
She was like that's the biggest thing with her thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I'm glad she didn't come and play the victim, and she was. I knew the rules and I broke them, and it is what it is. It is
yeah,
what it is.
she's like I'm not a victim, so
Right. So, more recently, look, before we move on to Simone Biles dropping out, I read. Um, I wish I knew the article. It was a credible source. I do remember that, but I read somewhere that viewership for the Olympics is down like 30% from last time. I don't know how that equates to all-time ratings, but essentially it was a post from I remember now. It was a Facebook post from a news outlet up toward Tulsa, and talking about how the viewership is down 35% from previous Olympics. And just for kicks, I went into the comments and I read these comments, man. These are
bro.
a bunch of people basically saying, why would I want to watch a bunch of people who don't care about our country? And I'm like, I didn't hear that from nobody.
Bruh.
I don't think that's a movement that's going on right now. Like,
It is if you don't understand like the notion that like pointing out that something has not always been perfect. It's not the same thing as saying that like you hate everything about it. Like
yeah,
again, like and I have made this point before. Black people more than any other ethnicity on America have a unique tie to America because upon being brought here, our entire culture was wiped away and we don't have any tie to anything beyond America.
right.
And there's no other ethnicity here that can say that. It's not like a bragging thing. Like it's not like, ooh, yeah, like y'all know your culture. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
I would imagine that you would just as soon not want that to be the truth.
you could, but it is like
Yeah.
I cannot like sure like my ancestors likely came from somewhere in Africa at some point. Africa's fucking huge. It's not a continent. It's not a country. It's a continent. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know shit beyond Alabama. I know that that is as far as I can trace my family back. So like to say that we like don't like hate America, like it's like not that. It's just you're not gonna like shit on me all day and then tell me to say thank you because I get to
Right.
live here. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Like
your first point was the most telling to me, and really though everything that you put into that statement you just made, the whole statement, I had never heard put that way before, so it's really good to see a new perspective. But the first thing you said was, just because we tell you something isn't perfect doesn't mean we hate it holistically. You know what I mean?
straight
Like,
up.
and I think that's a good point to make to people. Like, just because I say, man, I wish these shoes I just bought had red laces instead of black ones, doesn't mean I'm not gonna wear the shoes, bro.
Literally.
I'm just gonna
Literally.
I'm just gonna do everything I can to change the laces, bro.
And I'ma still wear the shoes even if I can't change the laces. Like they still my shoes.
They still my shoes. I'm gonna wear them. Yeah, that's a good
They
point.
still.
Yeah. So anyway, these people was going wild in these comments, bro. And I don't know. Like I haven't watched a minute of the Olympics, but I've never really cared that much about them. Like I'll watch a couple of different events, but I'm not really an Olympics consumer. So I don't feel like my not watching it contributes. But this is like a big 33%, 35% is a lot, bro. Like that
Okay.
viewership being down is a lot. And these people are taking political stances against the Olympics because people don't love their country enough. I don't understand this, bro.
I 33% is a lot, but like you also have to take into consideration one thing. How fast technology moves and how long 4 years is. 4 years ago, imagine the amount of people who still got their TV source from cable.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Olympics comes on NBC, like it comes on cable.
Right.
So like all day long at that, like when the Olympics is on, you can turn it to NBC right now, and the Olympics is on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's an all day fucking thing. Like it's never
Yeah.
off. It seems like. But if that's not how you watch TV anymore, which
Yeah.
is not how I watch TV. When I'm watching something, I searched it and clicked it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
so it's
I
like,
work in this exact space, the digital consumption space for advertising purposes, really. But so I can attest to that. I mean, there are people leaving cable, they're leaving satellite, they're figuring out that they can watch this programming for free on apps like Pluto and Crackle, and because those apps are ad supported. Like the advertisers support those apps being on. They're totally
yeah.
100% free to the consumer. And for the most part, those app numbers aren't counted in ratings. Especially if you're watching it on demand like Hulu. Like I watched a
See,
swimming competition last night on demand. That doesn't count to live ratings.
see, and like, and that's the thing is that like now because of the access to things, like there's no reason to break your day up to watch something live. Really.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you? Like, I'm gonna be able to watch this 500 different ways. I'll be able to search a clip on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I can DVR this shit. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's 50 ways that I'll be able to watch this later. So like,
Right.
a lot of times I feel like they take things like that and then they try and like spin it into like, yeah, so
Yeah.
this is really the big thing or whatever. But it's like, them motherfuckers in the comments got the Olympics on in the background right now.
That's true. I was gonna say, well, with all this that we know is happening, and these numbers might be skewed. The thing that tripped me out wasn't the report. The thing that tripped me out was the people who are proclaiming, like self-proclaiming, that they're boycotting the Olympics essentially. And I'm like, I ain't seen nothing happen that serious.
Bruh. And no one gives a fuck. So,
Right? We don't care.
no, at all.
Anyways, so Simone Biles, man, the GOAT, greatest of all time. One of the probably the greatest athlete we've ever seen.
Bro, if not, what, bro? When motherfuckers tell you like we can't give you points for that because you're the only one who could do it,
Because nobody else could do it. We don't want them to hurt themselves. Come on, bro.
you the go. You got it. You
You
got
got
it.
it.
I wouldn't compete anymore either. What else
I
I
was
have to
gonna
prove to you
say.
motherfuckers? Drop the mic on their ass, bro.
Yeah, the story is that she was protecting her mental space and all this, and I was thinking, well, she probably just decided ain't no reason for her to compete no more because they basically told her she wins, bro.
Well, so okay, so a few things, bro. So when the Simone Biles shit start happening, first of all, do you have HBO Max?
Yes.
Have you seen the what's it called like At the Heart of Gold or some shit like that?
Haven't seen that.
So it's this documentary about the USA gymnastics team and like this big sex abuse scandal they had with one of the team doctors.
I seen that. I
And
saw one on Netflix called Athlete A. It's about the same thing.
is it okay?
Yeah.
Uh, you watched it?
Larry Nassar or whatever, right?
Yeah, Larry
Yeah.
Nassar. Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's one of the girls.
They didn't
You know
mention
what I'm
her in
saying?
the Athlete A, I don't think.
She's one of the girls. She came
Interesting.
forward and
Wow.
said she's one of the girls. So like the crazy thing about it is like and like so if you haven't seen it, basically the team doctor, this shit is so crazy. As basically as part of his like uh treatment on the girls, he's like I can't remember what he called it, but basically he's putting his as they put it in the documentary, inserts his ungloved hand, his ungloved fingers into their vagina as some kind of like gymnastics treatment.
Yeah, it's like it's like part of his physical. And
They
most of the
had
time, their parents was in the room, bro.
parents was in the room. Well, so here's the thing, bro. I'm watching this one. They say like it's not necessarily that most of the time the parents are in the room, but like he would like lead, like he would do it for like 2 minutes while the parents were in the room, like kind of on some sneak shit, not paying attention to make the
Yeah,
girls be on some like, oh well, if my parents are here and he's doing
right.
this, it must be okay shit, bruh. They saying that the sessions that he used to have with the girls was 2 hours long. They would say the first hour they felt like was real treatment for their gymnastic issues. The whole other hour is him basically sexually assaulting the entire time.
Wow, bro.
Bruh.
Damn. Yeah, the Athlete
The
A one
USA and
wasn't
he
that in detail. I don't know if I'll watch
yeah,
the other one.
it's 300. They said it was 368 girls who come forward and said they've been assaulted.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Like, so she's one of those girls. And then just like just the regular pressure, just like being an Olympic athlete, like it is a lot of pressure. So like to understand that like her mental space may be like difficult to maintain is like to me, I just feel like it's easy for a motherfucker who never did shit to be like, oh yeah, you should be able to suck it up. Like, nigga, then why didn't you suck it up?
Yeah, I think it was
Why do you
you
do
who
what you do?
I think it was you who shared something earlier that was in relation to this. You said something about everybody wants to. No, I think it was. I think it was you. It was I saw you start and stop the keto diet like 6 times,
Yeah,
and now you're giving Simone Biles a hard time for withdrawing from the Olympics.
literally. The fuck out of here with that. And
Yeah.
so what they were talking about. So what happened was in the last event that she did, the Bing. Don't let me be wrong. Uh, she goes to do this move where essentially she's supposed to twist 2.5 times in the air.
Yep.
She loses place of where she is in the air, and I'd have had to read up on it because I had to know.
Yeah.
Gymnasts call it the twisties. They call it
Yeah.
getting the twisties, but it's like wild fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you think like picture Simone Biles in your head doing anything, and like think of like the speed and power that she does it with to land directly on her feet. Imagine to be moving with that speed and power and have no idea where you are in the air.
Yeah. Yeah, the
You know what I'm
article that
saying?
I read said that she does the whatever it's called, a double full something, and it's 2.5 twists, like you said. And after 1.5, she had no idea where she was. Like she would just lose
Yep.
it. She would lose total
Yep.
track of her body. And so I did like you. I looked up the twisties, and that sounds frightening, man. Like, and the article that I read was Simone Biles said she got the twisties, and gymnasts immediately understood.
I read that. That's the one I read that one too.
Yeah.
I read that
So I
one too. And
mean,
that
you kind of got to take their word for it, bro, because we're not gymnasts. We don't know what that's like.
no. And then to think
Not only
about
does
it,
she
like,
have the pressure of being an Olympic athlete, she has the pressure of like she's Simone Biles now. Like she's the closest thing to perfect that we've seen in an athlete, in my opinion.
bruh,
And if she goes out there, let's say she competes and she's fully healthy and she competes the best of her ability and she gets silver, like the world would lose its mind. Like
bruh.
that pressure alone is
And
more than we can
then you
fathom.
got to think beforehand. Like, if you quit some shit like that beforehand, you had to have been kind of like already know. Like, think about yourself. Like, sometimes I think people are so quick to like really like not give people the same like consideration that they would want and expect. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, sometimes you will be in life, right? And you'll start fucking up, and you'll know the reason you fucking up is because you were already in your own head. Like when you think about it, you like, man, like I haven't been right for weeks.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like I haven't
Mm-hmm.
been, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like to be in a position like that, we like, man, like I almost just cost my team. Like her performance way is like a part of like the team's total performance. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like number one, if I can't perform at my best, I'm a detriment to the team. Number two,
Right.
like this is dangerous,
Yeah.
and I'm worth so much money. Like imagine how much money Simone Biles can't just be getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
because, like sometimes, bro, like then I seen like motherfuckers talking about like this is what we teaching our kids to be quitters and blah blah blah, bro. I would never want my daughters to feel like the way that they performed in a game was the end all be all to life.
Right. Even the Olympics,
You know
because
what
at
I'm
the
saying?
end of the day,
Even the
they're still
fucking
just games,
Olympics,
bro.
the Olympic Games.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
she's a pretty young, not even a relatively young. She's a pretty young person still. Like we can't have her out there breaking her back or tearing her knees up or none of that. Just from on a personal level, for one, like, is it worth breaking your neck for the Olympic Games when she already got 24 gold medals or something like that anyway, bro? Like she literally has nothing else to prove to the Olympics or the world, period.
straight up, bro. Like,
Further than that,
she'll
this is
go
going to
down
be a
as an
lifelong
all-time
career.
great,
It's
and she
way too
never
early to
competed
end her
again.
own career over one games.
I mean, well, maybe one
Right.
thing that like I've kind of realized, like gymnasts, their careers are a little bit shorter. Like as I guess like gymnastics is one of those things that like age really wears on you faster than other things. So like this could potentially be the last we see of Olympic Simone Biles, but like honestly, like
She done
if
enough.
she's okay with that, it's literally it's the same thing kind of like I was saying with Sha'Carri Richardson. Like I'm not her motherfucking daddy. Like how she performs in life doesn't even impact my life. So why would I be like so hard on her to be like, bro, like at the end of the day, if that's what she feels like is best for her, then it probably is. If the United States doesn't win another gold medal, I will be fine.
Right. And the U.S. won gold in individual anyway. So and silver, I think, in team.
Yeah,
I don't
same
remember,
to the
but
team won silver. No, you're right.
so. Anyways, shout to Simone Biles. She ain't never gonna see this, but shout to her.
Oh God. If she
I
ever
for
see this, fuck
one,
the haters.
yeah, all of them. If you ever see this, hit me in the DM so you can endorse our show. We'll pay you a little
Don't
bit, not too much.
pay, we can't afford you. This has to be some pro bono.
Yeah, let me get some pro bono work. Anyway, moving on. Next topic we have is the highly discussed, highly anticipated. I anticipated it for about 2 days because I followed Jack Harlow on Instagram and I knew it was coming. I feel like I got to pause that. Pause. I didn't know the video was on the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know the
Bro.
video was on the way. So I checked it out, and I did not expect to see what I saw. Talk about it.
Uh, that shit
My
was
bad.
pretty
This is a
gay.
Lil Nas X. This is the Lil Nas X featuring Jack Harlow, Industry Baby. My fault. We had to introduce the video. Lil Nas
You
X,
haven't
Jack
seen the
Harlow.
video?
Yeah, I seen it. Jack Harlow, my man, though. Jack
No,
Harlow
not
goes
you.
in.
No, I'm saying like if anyone hasn't seen the video, like if you haven't seen the video, like it's it's the gayest shit ever. It's,
Is
but
it
that's
worse than?
cool.
Is it worse than Montero?
I didn't watch that one. I think I
I
might
gotta
have
watch
seen
that
like
one
clips
now.
of that
That
one.
one's
It didn't.
that one's a. I don't want to say worse. It's not worse. Obviously, we're not homophobic or nothing like that. But
Nah,
when it comes to pushing that agenda, I feel like Montero's more aggressive. Let's put it that way.
yeah, it's just gay. I don't even think. I even think that the phrase like pushing the agenda is wrong because like he's not like pushing the agenda. He gay. Like so.
Yeah.
I had a homie right. I had this dude at my job. And he comes to me and he's like, man, I just feel like it's all this gay shit on TV. Like, he's like, and I got sons, I got boys, and like, they see these two men kissing on TV, and I don't know what to tell them. And I said, oh, just tell them they're gay. He's
It's
like,
that
what?
simple. It's
I was
that
like,
simple, bro.
just tell them they're gay. I was like, they two gay niggas and gay niggas kiss all the time. Like, if you see two niggas kissing, they're probably gay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you could pretty
That's
much
true.
chalk that up.
Yeah. That's what they do.
Yeah, if you're not gay, it doesn't affect you at all. Matter of fact,
Not at
even
all.
if you are gay and they're not worried about you, it still might not affect you either. I think there's like this feeling in the heterosexual male community that like every gay nigga is like trying to fuck every straight nigga, and I'm like,
Right.
I don't think that could be true. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
It's not. It's not true. Here's a
no,
novel concept that everyone should consider. I know this is gonna blow y'all mind, but try to hear me out for just a second. Somebody else's romantic situation does not involve you at all,
mm,
nor does it affect you a smidgen of a tiny
nah,
bit. So let these guys do what they do. However, this video is a little
bruh,
extra.
they was busting it wide open in that thing. If
There
they
was
was,
a
if they was, if they was, if they was women, it would have been a regular rap video.
right.
I didn't expect the niggas to be in
It
jail though.
would.
I was like,
He said if there
damn.
was women,
So,
it'd be normal.
so so I'm like, damn, the whole jail gay,
Right. Oh, the
like,
whole
it's
jail. Yeah.
the whole jail was gay, y'all. I was like, damn, they could have at least had it where it was like, the niggas in Lil Nas X cell was gay, but it was like, nah, it niggas like came out of all the cells with like the shit wrapped around their head and like the shirts, you know what I'm saying, like flipped up, you know what
Like
I'm
Tracy Morgan and
saying?
Tracy Morgan in The Longest Yard. You remember Tracy Morgan in The Longest Yard?
Yes, yes, bro. Like Jay Wayne from Life. No, Biscuit, looking like Biscuit from
Biscuit,
Life.
yeah.
But here's the crazy thing about it, bro. And this is why I was so upset. I was watching it with Laser, my homie, and I'm like, if you had just played the song for me, I would be like, this motherfucker is hard as fuck.
It's a banger, yeah.
But now, okay, so here's the thing, right? And motherfuckers have to tell me this, right? Because I ain't got no beef with the video being as gay as it is. I ain't got no beef with the video being accessed by anyone who want to watch the motherfucker. However, now that I've seen the video, I can't jam the song
You can't.
the same
Yeah,
way.
I
I
felt
just
well,
can't.
kind of off subject, but it's true with music videos in general. Like that's why I choose not to watch the video a lot of time because it's kind of like reading a book. Once you read the book, you have it picture painted in your mind a certain way, and then if you watch the movie adapted to the book, now all of a sudden, if you go back and read the book, you're gonna see the movie because you've seen the movie. It's the same thing with
You,
music videos. Like I'd much rather just listen to the song because it is a certain way to me after I watch the video, every time I see the song, I'm gonna see or listen to the song, I'm gonna see the video from that point on.
it's like COVID masks. You know what I'm saying? Like you see a
Yeah,
motherfucker every day with that mask on, and then one day they take it off, and you like, oh, that's not what I thought. Now I
shit got
never
going
get look
on
at you
here.
the same. Now when I see the mask on, that's who cooked up the Delta variant. It was ugly motherfuckers. Ugly people made the Delta variant in a lab so that everybody has to put the mask back on so that they can go back to
So now you think you can't listen to the song the same no more, huh?
No, it ain't think I know. I'll never be able to listen to that bitch and say, well, I'm gonna just see a bunch of niggas twerking. And like, whereas I said a million times, I'm cool with that. Like, hey, if a bunch of niggas want to be twerking somewhere, go ahead. Throw that thing in a circle. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not interested. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? Like, it's
Because
just not for me.
we're not the target audience. You know what I
I'm
thought
not the
was
target
crazy?
audience. It's not for me. And
Yeah.
listen, maybe that's the key thing that people need to realize. If you
If you
turn
don't
some
like
shit
it,
on,
turn it off.
it ain't for you.
It ain't that
It's so
hard,
much.
bro.
Bruh. Yeah, turn it off. And that's I ain't gonna cap. I watched the whole video because I was like, at this point, it's like I gotta see what like.
Yeah,
Wow,
you
like
gotta
this is
catch it.
it. It was interesting, for goddamn sure.
It's a
I,
very well done video. I gotta be honest with you too,
hey,
though.
no cap.
I gotta be honest with you too. I'm not totally convinced that this whole thing isn't just a publicity stunt. Have you ever read Lil Nas X Twitter feed? That joint is hilarious, bro.
I
He's
haven't actually like went and read it, but I have like seen like when things get retweeted, and that nigga
yeah,
do say some funny shit.
he's hilarious, bro. I'm obviously I don't think that he would lie about it. Hopefully he wouldn't, but definitely, um, definitely being on Front Street with it has the feels of a publicity stunt to some degree. So, and we know pretty, especially after the Montero video, we know that his MO is going to be shock factor, pretty much. So, I mean, I saw a screenshot on his Instagram when it, like the day that it dropped. A screenshot was of his YouTube channel on his phone, and it said, it gives you the timestamp of when it was posted. It said 2 minutes ago, and it had 23,000 views already in 2 minutes. So what he's doing is centered around going viral. There's a
So
chance that this could be totally publicity centered. I'm not
you
even
don't think that
convinced that
nigga?
nigga's
You don't
really
think
gay,
he
to be
gay?
honest.
You don't
Well,
think he gay? Okay,
I
so
wouldn't be
listen. Here's
I
the thing,
wouldn't
right?
be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually wasn't in the end.
That nigga gay.
I will tell you the funniest part. First of all, the Jack Harlow verse is the best part of the song, in my opinion. Jack Harlow goes in. The funniest part about it to me was you had all that extra stuff happening in the beginning, the stuff that's not for us because we're not your audience, whatever. Soon as Jack Harlow verse come on, he's surrounded by nothing but women. Like he wanted to
the
make it
only
clear.
the only women in the video.
He
He's
wanted
like,
to make it
just
clear, bro. Like I'm on this song, but let's be clear.
like when I found out that I came to the gay jail, I immediately got sent to SAG. I was like, whoa, y'all sucking a lot of dicks in here. I'm gonna go over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call my bitches to break in and dance with me with the strobe lights. That was pretty much the purpose of the video. And so I
That was
understand.
the video.
That's what I'll be on too. Because like I said, listen, I'm really of the position that like if you give that much a fuck about that gay shit, it's because you think you might like it. Like I'm pretty
Right.
like you think you might like that shit. Like that's all it is. Like you
Yep.
like we got to get all these gays out of here so they don't tip me into
Right.
their little gay sex cult. But like
Yeah.
for me, I'm just they could literally have a gay sex club next door to my house, and I'll walk past that motherfucker on the way to the mailbox every day. I wave at them like,
Y'all,
how y'all gays
y'all have
doing over there? You know what I'm
y'all have
saying?
fun.
Yeah, have fun. And you will be over there trying to look in the windows and shit on some weird shit. See?
We got to
'Cause
get them out of here.
yeah, I seen them doing. You won't believe what I seen them doing last night. Like, see what I'm doing? Like, you watching? You game? you
You get,
knew they was in there. You knew they was in there. You knew it was
what
men's in there
what what
fucking, and you was watching.
what character on the Boondocks was that? Was that Riley said that?
Right? Yeah. Anything that yeah, definitely.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
go
like
check out that video if you ain't seen it yet. It's a pretty good song. Let
it
us
is a
know
good
what you
song.
think
No
about the
cap.
video in the comments. It is a good song. I'll probably go play the song. I only watched the video once, so I watched it a few times. I'm just kidding.
Bruh.
I just watched it once, I swear. Anyway, song go hard though. Go check it out. Industry Baby, Lil Nas X, Jack Harlow. Bam. Last thing on the slate
Bruh.
for us. NFL has, I don't think they've released a new COVID policy, but it's hit the news recently that Bruce Arians, the Super Bowl winning coach of the NFL champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is threatening to fine his players on the spot $14,000 if they're unvaccinated, right? And
Hmm.
not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And people started asking him, "What's up with that?" And it came out that that's actually NFL rules. So the
Yeah.
NFL
He's
COVID
like, that's not
policy,
my rule.
yeah, yeah, that's actually NFL rules. So there's still COVID policy in place if you have not been vaccinated, which according to Bruce Arians, about 85% of his team has been vaccinated. But NFL policy states if you have not been vaccinated, you must wear a mask at all times, pretty much. And if you don't, then you're fined $14,000.
So they can't. If you unvaccinated, you have to wear a mask. If you break any COVID protocol, it's the 14. It's almost 15,000. It's like 14,790 or something. It's 15,000.
Yep.
It's actually 15 racks. It's
Mm-hmm.
15 racks if you break any COVID policy. If a team has an outbreak of unvaccinated players, they'll be forced to forfeit a game if they can't suit up enough players. All the players from the team will lose their game checks. Excuse me. All the players from that team will lose their game checks. And all the players from the opposing team will lose their game checks.
Really?
Yes,
That's crazy. I didn't read that part.
as fuck. That's why I wanted to talk to you because I was like, the NFL is basically to me, bro. It's funny. It's some of the things that are like all things can't be true, right? Like if there's no efficacy in this, right? This $1 billion organization wouldn't be like, hey, we gonna make your life hell if you don't go get that shot. Like we can't make you get it,
Yeah.
but we can tell you that
But
you can't be in
but
a
we
room with
can.
more than 10 people. Yeah, but we can. But we can tell you can't be in a room more than 10 people in it if you don't have it. We can tell you gotta wear that mask everywhere if you don't have it. We can tell you that you can't be in a training facility during certain hours if you don't have it. We can tell you all these things like and they basically like pushing these players like and to me, the other team losing their checks, that's a peer tactic.
Yeah.
Not only
Mm-hmm.
are we pressing you from above, but we about to make motherfuckers around you start looking at you like, did you get that shot yet? Because you could potentially cost me my money.
Right. Yeah. They
You know what I'm
they're
saying?
they're leveraging. They seem to be leveraging the brotherhood aspect. Like these are your friends, these are your peers, these are your brothers on the other side of this line, and
Yep.
you're going to cost them money if you don't do this. Well, and honestly, there are. I've never been on a football team, but I've been in team sports before, and it's a different kind of culture. I've been in the military; it's a different kind of culture, kind of a brotherhood type thing, where you're kind of almost more interested in making sure you don't get your peers in trouble or be the weak link. You want to make sure you carry you carry the weight of the team, or you're in the same community. So it's almost like they're leveraging that fear of, I don't want to disappoint my brother, so I guess I'll get it even though it's not something that I necessarily want to do.
Yeah, motherfuckers is tired of losing money.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is. Like the NFL tired of losing money. Like motherfuckers getting COVID, motherfuckers getting sick, motherfuckers like that shit costs money.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like motherfuckers that I've talked to people at my job and they be like, you really scared to get COVID? I'm like, I'm not scared to get COVID. I can't afford to get COVID.
Right.
Like I can't afford to be off work that long. Like I need to work. I work to live, nigga. I don't know what y'all are here for, but I need this check.
Right.
I need to come to work. I don't have time for that. And then motherfuckers got all these all underlying conditions. Can't taste for. I don't. I eat for the taste. I would. What? You
Right.
can't taste nothing, dog. Listen, I just and then like the way other motherfuckers. I was supposed to go to Rolling Loud, bro. I seen the pictures of Rolling Loud. Did you see the videos of Rolling Loud?
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
My nigga, it was so many people. I was like, wow.
Nobody in masks or nothing, huh?
No, ain't nobody wearing no mask no more. And that's the
Yeah.
fucked up thing. Y'all, man, fuck y'all unvaccinated motherfuckers out here with no mask on, capping like you one of us. I
Yeah.
went and got my shot. I don't have to wear this motherfucking mask no more.
Yeah.
I ain't out here spreading this shit to nobody now. Y'all got all these numbers going up, Delta variant and shit coming up. Motherfuckers talking about maybe we might have to put the mask mandate back on because you motherfuckers can't be trusted. This is
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah,
This is bullshit.
our job just put the mask mandate back on today.
See, niggas is like, because it's probably, Wichita Falls is probably getting hit pretty decent.
Hmm?
It just
Just like
depends on like
Long's. Yeah.
Long getting hit pretty hard again.
I read somewhere a couple weeks ago that Oklahoma's hospitalization numbers this July are higher than last July.
Yeah, that's wild. I know them motherfuckers. I think, bruh, the the level of misinformation around this COVID shit is wild. I seen somebody tweet the other day that was like, just so you know, the majority of the people in the ICU are vaccinated. So like I always literally I went to Google to try and find the false source that they got this from. Like literally, like I was like, I know that's not true, but I'm gonna try and find where you got this from. I couldn't even find the bullshit source they got that shit from. I
Right.
literally just I commented back, I was like, where did you get this information?
Yeah. They just
You
make
know
up.
they didn't
They're
say
just
shit.
making stuff
I
up.
made it up. Yeah, like I'm not. If you don't want to get vaccinated, like don't. Like it's not. I'm not. I got vaccinated, so I didn't have to give a fuck what y'all did. Honestly,
Right.
like that's the reason why we got the
Yeah.
shot. So that if you don't want to get it, don't. I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, it's like just on like from a nigga who's okay. So it's like all y'all niggas who not vaccinated in the water, and all us who are vaccinated are on a boat. And like niggas fall off the boat sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But like by and large, you still on a boat. And I'm looking at y'all from the boat saying, you should really get on this boat. But if you don't want to, but if you don't want to,
Like
fuck it.
I would strongly advise y'all to get on this boat.
I have been on this
I
boat for
mean, I
several
got the
months now.
boat. I mean, I'm on the boat. I can tell you it's sturdy up here. We going
It's
somewhere. We getting
cool.
where we going.
It's cool up here. Everybody up here seems to say none of us have grown any extra extremities yet that I know of. You know what I'm saying? Like any of the side effects of the vaccine are not worse than the side effects of the actual disease, which is something that people should research more. Like, yeah, like there's like they were like, yeah, there's like some heart inflammation things that they think may be associated with one of the vaccines, but they're like, but that is absolutely a side effect of getting COVID. So it's like, I mean, you do what you want, do what you want, but if this shit closed down again, if they
What did?
if they close down again, if they close shit down
Uh-huh.
again, and they fuck my money up behind y'all motherfuckers who didn't, because it's the same motherfuckers to bring it all full circle to the beginning of the episode. Y'all rules is rules ass niggas. Y'all same motherfuckers who like Sha'Carri shit the smoke and all this other shit. You rules is rules ass niggas.
Don't want to wear
The
y'all
rules
mask.
say, boss say, boss say, if yous ain't got that shot, you supposed to wear that mask when you go outside.
And yous ain't doing that.
And you ain't wearing your mask, nigga. So, you know what that is? Y'all pissing in the water. And I don't care.
You know,
Piss in the
those
water
aren't
all you want
rules,
because I'm
though.
on the
Those are
boat.
guidelines, and you can't make me do something I don't want to do. It's unconstitutional.
Yeah. Whatever. Y'all pissing in the water and I'm on the boat. So, huh?
Oh man, NFL COVID policy is wild, man. And you know what's crazy is that this isn't a new thing. I read it as though this had been in
Mm-mm.
place from the gate.
It
So
has basically a lot
have
of
people
that.
just not been enforcing it? Has it basically been? I don't think it's been followed. I mean, we watched the NFL last season and we could see people pulling their masks down and walking around the sideline and all
And
kind of other stuff. So
they got the big thing that had the players pissed off was the money thing in the forfeiting games because that's when
yeah,
they like D Hop had posted something like actual like because before it was like niggas like Cole Beasley talking about like, I'll never get vaccinated like no I don't give a fuck what Cole Beasley doing nigga don't
just I think the only time that you're gonna make somebody that you're gonna piss the fans off really is if it gets to the point that you're forfeiting games because you can't suit enough players. And like last year we had entire teams that had to postpone games, and
Hmm.
several marquee players that got COVID and had to stay out. And now that we have vaccinations, and hopefully they work in the long term, and hopefully people get them, and
They
this
were
whole
good
thing
enough.
can come to an end. But I think the only time you're really going to piss off fans is when marquee players and actual full teams end up having to forfeit games. Like you said, like nobody's going to trip if Cole Beasley gets it and gets fined and has to be suspended for a couple of games. Anybody tripping on that? But
Nah.
especially when it comes to playoff time, like if it's week 15 or 16 and you got teams forfeiting key games because everybody then got exposed, and then that's just going to be bad for everybody, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be a terrible fucking look.
But it's totally, in my opinion, they gotta change that, bro. I agree with you. They're using the fear factor, but that don't make no sense. Like if your team is there, suited up, ready to play, and the other team has to forfeit, I better not lose my check.
They not playing. They said, "Fuck it, nobody eats."
Everybody eats B.
He said, "We
Everybody
starving
eats.
the block. If you niggas can't stay healthy, we starving the whole
And
block, B."
I guess to a degree, it's kind of smart because like we said, they are leveraging that camaraderie. Like, can you imagine being the guy who is the last guy who makes your team forfeit and then cost the other team their money too? Like, yeah, I don't want to be that guy, bro.
Nobody wants to be that guy, bro. Like, and it's stupid. Like, I mean, shit. It's just motherfuckers. It's a power play. Like,
Yeah,
they got all the power. The NFL does shit like this all the time.
they
The
bully
NBA
them.
is not take. I doubt you will see the NBA take a similar route. But I think it's highly unlikely that you'll see the NBA have like high numbers of outbreaks. Like they'll probably find a gentler, more. The NFL takes a real we're way the fuck up here, speaking down to you as the players
Right.
mentality.
Yeah,
And the NBA kind of takes a we're all in the same room mentality.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like, we don't have to tell everyone that we're gonna fine you $15,000 if you don't wear the mask. We're just gonna tell y'all,
right.
like, hey, what the NBA did was the NBA told the players, y'all don't have to play. Like
Right.
the way the
Mm-hmm.
bubble season happened was the NBA was like, y'all absolutely don't have to play.
Right.
This is how much money we'll lose if you don't play, and this is what it'll do to your future salaries.
Right.
And it was like, so when
And
does the bubble start?
there was mad players that opted not to play.
Yep, but enough played where niggas got paid still. They made the project continue. Like they're all invested in it differently. So, but
Yeah.
whatever, bro. You got
Yeah,
anything else?
that's gonna be interesting to see that play out, man. I'm excited for the NFL season. I feel like more excited than I have the past couple years.
Me
Um,
too. I'm excited for college football, bro. Real quick, bro?
yeah,
What do you think about Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC?
I think that OU can compete if they tighten some things up. It's not gonna be one of your 12-1, 13-1 seasons out the gate. I don't
No,
feel like.
definitely
Probably gonna
not.
go probably gonna go closer to 500 than anything because we can't stop nobody. Speaking about OU, but I think of the two teams, they've got a better shot. I mean, they've been consistently in the college football playoff the past few years. They've been put out promptly by SEC teams pretty much every time, except last year it was Clemson. Um, so I think over time it will be good because over time they will have to adjust to be competitive in the conference. But out the gate, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna
I
be
don't think
real
it'll
bad.
be that bad off the gate. I don't think it.
It's
I
gonna
think
be
it'll
bad.
be. It's not gonna be like normal. It's not gonna be a breeze. But I mean, you got to
No.
think, bro. The SEC got bottom feeders like anybody else. Like in the way that they would break up the conference and who they would have to play. Like it's not gonna be it's not gonna be as ugly as people think.
Well, and I have confidence in the team and the coaching. But I was a real big Baker fan, a real big Kyler fan, and I don't think we'll see a quarterback that can play like they have in. I don't know when we'll see another one like them. So I'm not holding out hope for that we'll be as good as we were when we had either of those guys anyway. Um, but man, I kind of regard the SEC as aside from Clemson, obviously, but I think the SEC to me is the conference to beat pretty much every season.
Yeah. So
Somebody
why
from
wouldn't you
the
want to be
some
in that?
Well, I do. I like the move. I just don't think
Yeah.
I just don't think it's gonna be like you said. It's not gonna be a breeze for sure. And I don't
Nah.
have confidence in. The Big 12 is not known for defense, and OU is not known for defense. So, but the SEC is known for defense. When we
Man, we
have
gonna
played them, they've been generally good games, and especially in the playoffs. That Georgia game we had when Baker was still here was great.
crazy.
Um, the game that we had, I can't remember when it was, but when we've played the SEC in the college football playoff, it's been generally entertaining, and we've hung in there for the most part. But I think playing that conference consistently is going to prove to be a little tough.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited about it.
We got to get
I'm ready for all of it.
some cornerbacks, bro.
We will, bro. We will. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh man, yeah. All right, man. Appreciate your time, my dude. Make sure
Hey,
y'all
man.
tune in to FT. I'll let you do the FTF podcast so you can say it the way
Hey.
it's supposed to be said.
All right, man. Oh, man. Hey, listen. Yo, man. Make sure you go check out the Fuck This Shit podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? FTS podcast, Fuck This Shit podcast. Check that shit out, man. That shit streaming everywhere you can listen to a motherfucking podcast. It's dope. Don't listen in front of your kids unless fuck, listen in front of your kids.
It's the
Let
hard
me
truth, man. They can hear
let
it.
me put your kids on with this knowledge so that they will understand how the best tackle the white supremacist power structure. No, that's this, but really check that shit out. Make sure you follow all the social media, man. Facebook, and I don't know what the fuck the Facebook is. The Facebook is FTS Podcast. The Instagram is at Fuck This Shit Pod. The Twitter is at Fuck This Shit Pod. Make sure you follow everything. All my personal handles are DreDay4536.
Hey,
It's been a
hey,
pleasure. You
hey,
did.
hey. Common Conscious episode 2. I am Jay Raider. That is Dre Day. This is brought to you by Promotion Media Group, Motion Sick Clothing, Jay Raider TV. All of that. You can catch this everywhere you stream podcasts.
Gang, gang.
Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, all of that. Also, check out the Entrepreneur Podcast, where I talk to entrepreneurs, business owners, hustlers in an interview-like setting. Try to do it about every couple of weeks. When on a hiatus right now, I'm looking for an interviewee. If you know somebody, have them get at me. Jay Raider, Dre Day, Comic Conscious. We out.
Peace.